What's going on, everyone? This is the rules. Crazy Russian 86, I guess. I tried to change my name back to the rules, by the way, but I couldn't do it. YouTube is bullshitting, but that's a whole different issue. Anyway, you click on the title so you know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. Anyway, guys, let's get to the point of this video. You know, there is a beef between Shmitty Warman and Beer Girl for 12. Shmitty Warman thinks that Beer Girl for 12 talked disrespectfully to her daughter and she's not a good parent and whatever. And I disagree. I watched that video of Beer Girl for 12 where she was talking about her daughter, and basically she said that her daughter doesn't have a good sense of directions, that her daughter is 17 years old and she doesn't have a good sense of direction, so I cannot get her a car because she's not ready to drive, and that she compares herself to her daughter, and she said, well, when I was 17 years old I had my own car, so like I'm better in that regard than my daughter. Well, I mean, I don't find it particularly like offensive, you know, because let's face it, we're all different, you know. I did the same thing, like I was comparing myself to Todd in one of my videos. I know maybe because I'm Russian and you think, oh, you foreigner, you know, you're not gonna pay much attention to this guy, but I was basically doing the same thing. I was comparing myself to Todd. I was comparing myself when I was 18 years old and to Todd now. And I was saying that in certain ways, even when I was 18 years old, I was much more mature than Todd is right now. Which is true actually, but you know, I was thinking about it, you know. Let's face it, people have their, you know, shortcomings and stuff. Like, some people are mental, some people are crazy, some people, you know, not able to do certain things which other people can do. So it's like, it's life, you know. It is what it is. And when you say things like, you know, oh, this person cannot do this or that person can do that, you know, I don't look at it necessarily as an insult, you know. As long as you've been respectful about it, as long as you don't cuss anybody out, I mean, it's not really like a mean thing to say in my opinion. Of course, I understand that a lot of people in America may not feel the same way, but it's just my personal opinion. I don't think that Beer Girl for 12 was a bad parent necessarily, and she was like saying mean things about her daughter and stuff like that, and complaining about money and shit. What's wrong with that, you know? She just wanna go out there, make a video, talk about her problems. Like, me personally, I don't find it like really inappropriate or bad. What's wrong with complaining about your problems? I don't think there is anything wrong with that. She has a right to do it. As a matter of fact, she's a person with fucking 5 degrees and she doesn't even make that much money. But degrees, that's a whole different issue. I probably should make another video about that shit too. So stay tuned for that. I have a lot to say just because of this Beer Girl for 12, but I'm just gonna stay on the topic though. Education is gonna be the whole different issue. But coming back to driving, like I said, I don't think that she was saying anything bad about her daughter, you know. If your daughter cannot find, you know, her way home easily, she has a bad sense of directions, then yeah, she should not drive. But she's only 17 years old, so like me personally, when I was 17 I was still in Russia. And I didn't care about driving at that time, was not even thinking about it, okay? I came to the United States June 15, 2006. I was 19 and a half years old because my birthday is in December, so it was pretty much right in between. So 6 months from there, I celebrated my first birthday, my 20th birthday. It was my first birthday in the United States. I turned 20. January of 2007, I was 20 years old. I went to the driving school. Prior to that, I passed the theory test, and I passed it from the first time. I remember that the minimum passing score was 75%, and I scored right exactly 75%. So I basically barely passed it from the first time. So January of 2007, I went to driving school. First I had some theory lessons, and then I had some driving lessons. I couldn't pass my driving test. My instructor told me from the third time. I thought it was the fourth time, but maybe it was the third. My instructor told me I was the most frustrating student he ever had. He was joking with me and this and that, because I was from Russia, I was looking at him like he's a retarded dude, he's stupid and shit. No offense, but this is just how Russians look at Americans, because they don't understand American culture. But that's a whole different subject. Don't get offended to it, I'm just speaking the truth. So, Russians and Americans, they don't like each other because of difference in culture, so because they just don't understand each other, that's why. But it is what it is. Moving on. You all know that, but again, let me turn the topic. So anyhow, I passed my driving test, and when I got my license, I remember the day. That was November 15, 2007. At that time, I was almost 21 years old. I was like 4 weeks short of being 21, because my birthday is in December, so it was like 4 weeks before I turned 21. I just got my driver's license. And the significance of November 15th, exactly 5 years from the day when I got my driver's license, I went on the first day with my current African girlfriend. But that's another different subject. So it just, I'm all about dates, so it's like, it's just coincidence that I got my driver's license 5 years after that, exactly 5 years, I went on my first date with my current girlfriend. So, speaking of my girlfriend, I put the sheets on my bed for being a girl for 12. And part of the reason why, because she was over my crib the other day. So, but moving on. Spring of 2008, my parents got me my first car. That was Toyota Corolla 1999. It has almost 140,000 miles on it. I had a minor accident on that car. When I was backing up, I hit the pole, so I knocked out the window, and I basically scratched the car, and then I paid $400 out of pocket to paint the car and get my window back. And then October 23rd, 2008, I had a car accident. When I was driving to work at Eddie Bauer, I was passing trucks, so I was cutting right in front of the truck, so truck hit me. I went off the road to the ditch. When I went back to the road, I didn't know it was truck that hit me. The only reason how I found out that it was a truck, because I saw the truck stop. Now, I didn't stop, I just kept going. That happened actually only like half of a mile away from my job. So I went to work, I parked, and that was my last day at work. After that I said I can't go to work because I cannot drive. So from that day till like April of 2014, I was not driving at all. So from like almost 21, almost 22 to like 27 years old, I was barely driving. So really, I had like 8 years, give or take, of driving experience. Out of these 8 years, maybe like 3 years I was actually driving. And now I'm almost 30 years old, and I have only maybe 3 years of driving experience. So tell your daughter not to feel bad, really. It is what it is, we're all different. Maybe when she is older, when she will be in her 20s, she will get ready for it. So it is what it is. And my time is out. All the best to you guys. Peace out. Later.